black screen. There we go. Jake's gonna go first.
Whenever. Yeah, go ahead. Sure, that works for me. Then it doesn't clutter up my screen. Gotta wait for a guy to get on track before I can spectate. Alright, welcome everybody and good evening. Something a little bit different here for you guys on a Sunday evening. We're doing some qualifier commentating on GT7 here tonight, and a couple of reasons why we're running this here tonight. Of course, it's our boys at OFR, man. We got lots of the guys running in the OFR League that are huge members of the community here at GT45 Gaming, so we got to show the love, of course, obviously there. Support the guys, support the league. And second of all, we need to see the feasibility of potential commentary moving forward into GT7. So it's going to be a pleasure to bring these qualifiers to you guys today. We do have a driver on track here now, and it's working. And we have Apex Jake, and what everybody says, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. GVG Jake is now Apex Jake, joining Apex Racing during the DMJ Choice of Weapon Series over at GT45 Gaming here recently, signed on with Apex Racing. So great addition to the team over there. And as a matter of fact, we actually have the headmaster of Apex Racing, Tattooed Freak, with us here. So great signing, by the way, my guy. Absolutely fantastic signing with Jake there.
Man, it was a long process to get him to agree, but we finally got her done and couldn't be more happy about it.
And of course, bringing home a big win there in just the most recent series, and looking strong in the Ghost Viper Gaming League here as well, as very early on in their series as well. So maybe a couple of trophies coming home to Apex Racing here over the next few weeks would be fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't be more proud.
So we don't know what kind of options we have, ladies and gentlemen. We don't really know a whole lot about what GT7 has to offer, so let's check it out. So it does look like Apex Jake is lagging just a little bit here, but he's just coming across here for his first official lap. Coming around the next couple corners here. So the deal is today, ladies and gentlemen, is that the drivers have 5 laps. So they have 1 out lap, and then they have 4 hot laps to put in the absolute best time they can. And then what'll happen is OFR GT7 North American Division, of course, will take all the times from all the drivers who've qualified today. This has been happening for hours already today. Several drivers have qualified, so we're just here to catch a few drivers and again test this feasibility for commentating on GT7, because obviously you guys, the race fans, and us as organizers, commentators, and racers obviously want to be able to show you guys the awesomeness of GT7 and league racing. So we're hoping this goes really, really well. And Jake does look like he's a little bit laggy. I don't know if it's just my screen or if he looks like that to you on your screen as well.
No, I see it as well. You know, I've been in this lobby most of the day watching these guys qualify, and I just think it's GT7, man. And I think it's the lobbies.
I tend to agree with you there. Now, GT7, ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you're not aware, has been out for 5 weeks now, and unfortunately for the competitive part of Gran Turismo right now, they just haven't done a whole lot to address lobby bugs, glitches, issues. You know, we're missing quite a bit of the features that we had in Gran Turismo Sport in GT7 right now, as far as online multiplayer lobbies, daily races, and spectator mode goes. So hopefully that in the very near future here, they start to address these situations, of course, so we can continue, you guys, to bring amazing racing content week in and week out through not only my page, but every other commentator out there in the sim racing world, of course. So I don't know how many leagues or races have been commentated on GT7 yet. I don't think there's probably been too many. The spectator mode's been pretty messed up until recently. They did allow us finally to watch. As we can see here, it's working. We can see Jake. We can see what he's doing. We can see his time. And we can see his name. So we have that information. We unfortunately don't have things like live action replays and all the extra camera angles that we normally would provide to you guys during a broadcast. Hopefully they sort that out soon. But it's just fantastic to see, and we do expect to see a good time come out of Jake here. A 154.1, which in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, from what I've heard today and from what I've personally seen today, that's a little bit off of a Division 1 pace at the moment. So he still has 3 laps to really give her, though. Ooh, make that 2 laps. That's a chalk.
And speaking on what you were talking about earlier, you know, I've been in and out of these lobbies, these practice lobbies, kind of watching the guys, seeing what they're doing. And just maybe 45 minutes ago, I saw Jake lay down a 150.4 or 150.3, I think, which according to my spreadsheet here, that would put him in number 1 for the qualifying position.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little bit of perspective for you, for those that are wondering what the time bracket's looking like here in qualifiers for the OFR GT7 NA division. Is definitely quick, very, very quick times out there. 150 on what is this, Deep Forest?
Yes.
Yes, on Deep Forest is actually quite a quick time for these Group 3 cars. Definitely encroaching on top split times here very early on in GT7's game. So,
and this is just, not to interrupt you, but just so you know, this is no tuning, this is no tuning, all BOP. Really, the only adjustment you can make on here is your traction control adjustment. So these are completely stock settings and whatnot.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, as we can see, the drivers are required to do this qualifier in the Group 3 Toyota Supra 2018 concept. Of course, the OP car of GT Sport. Still a very solid car here in GT7, but I wouldn't say it's the OP car of GT7 by any means, but still very solid car. As a matter of fact,
it's tricky to handle.
You're going to see your boy Ghost running this car next weekend, actually, in a league race here on GT7 as well, so it should be interesting.
This car is definitely a handful. I've done numerous practice laps getting ready for my own qualifying session, and it's definitely a handful to drive. It tends to want to get sideways on you when you're braking, and it tends to want to oversteer quite easily. So, and again, you see some of the drivers will probably be using their traction control system somewhat, or turning it off and on throughout the race.
And really, that's
throughout the qualifying.
Really, the only disadvantage we have here in GT7 right now, of course, too, with the BOP settings, is for some reason Gran Turismo thought it would be a great idea to not allow the drivers to adjust their brake balance controller without turning the tuning aspect on in the game. And of course, when you turn the tuning aspect on in the game, it's extremely hard to monitor that the drivers are keeping everything stock and proper, right?
It's almost impossible, I would have to say.
Right at the moment, the way things sit, I would have to agree with that. So the best way to set these lobbies up to keep everything fair for everybody is to have full BOP with no tuning allowed. And unfortunately, that means the drivers do have to drive with that brake balance at 0. They just do not have the option. So really, it comes down to learning how to drive the car at brake balance of 0. And what that does, ladies and gentlemen, too, like, I mean, for myself personally, when I drive these front-engine, rear-wheel drive cars, I actually like to have my brake balance a couple of ticks to the front of the car to take some of the pressure off of, obviously, the back end of the car. And it's a little heavier on the tire wear on the front tires because, of course, all the weight is in the front end of the car, but for some reason, it just seems to keep the back end from that car sliding as much as if you're on a positive brake balance side of things. So if you're a little more to the rear of the car, you tend to get a little more rear end slide. And of course, with the new physics in GT7, a little bit of rear end slide could actually end up in disaster very, very quickly. So It's a driver preference, of course. When you have a positive brake balance or a brake balance towards the rear of a car, you tend to have a lot more trail braking control and ability in the cars. And if you have it in the front of the cars, obviously you just have much more braking into a corner. But you lose that ability to trail brake more efficiently going through your mid corners. So it's a personal preference, really, I guess, when it comes to brake balance. But typically these cars run the fastest at a brake balance of 0 anyways, so it really going to come down to driver skill here today for the qualifiers for these guys setting their times. We got Jake at a 151 flat here, so he is starting to nip now right on that time. So this is his last attempt here, ladies and gentlemen, as this will be lap 5 here for Jake, so he really needs to hone one in here. Great looking car there, and I'm assuming that's a livery done by Tattooed there as well.
It is. Yes, I did that.
It looks beautiful. Looks absolutely beautiful.
Thanks, man. You'll see quite a few liveries that look very similar, but possibly just different colors.
Oh, Jake has lost it on the second last corner of the lap, ladies and gentlemen. Really unfortunate for him there. That's going to be a 151.087 for Jake here today in qualifying.
087 or 067?
Sorry, 67. That's, yeah, thank you, Tattoo.
Just verifying.
And of course, there is our OFR officials and staff managing this in a different chat, as of course these qualifiers are going on as well, ladies and gentlemen. So a 203.8, and now I'm just going to say, ladies and gentlemen, that these drivers, Apex Jake, now pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so used to saying GVG, he's a top split driver. This guy is crazy fast. He is a very, very good racer, so to see him make very uncharacteristic mistakes like this on GT7 really does just go to show how much of a change that the physics really have changed in GT7, how much more simulated the game has gotten. The mistakes we've seen Jake make here tonight are pretty untypical of Jake's driving style. So it just goes to really show how tough GT7 is. And if you're thinking about getting into league racing on GT7, don't not go into leagues because you think you're not fast enough, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how fast you are. Granted, speed kills, right? I mean, if you can maintain an amazing pace lap in, lap out without making any mistakes, sure, that's going to make the difference. But consistency is always going to pay off in a league race, ladies and gentlemen. So don't be scared to enter. Give it a shot. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to gain some amazing experience and you're going to make some really cool friends.
So, just looking now at that spreadsheet, that 151.06 puts Jake currently in the second place.
And I don't think
far.
that this lap is actually going to count for Jake here, as this is technically lap 6 here. So,
I don't think it will either.
So hopefully he doesn't really crush that time, because unfortunately for him, I don't think it's going to count.
Honestly, right now with Jake, I think this is just a ego thing right now. He knows he can put down a 150.4, so I think now he's just out there trying to prove himself to himself.
And this is quick. This is a very quick time. A 150.831. Great lap there by Jake, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I'm pretty sure that this is not going to count. And I think that the officials will be telling him to, of course, time to pull the car off track and allow the next qualifier to get on track and do his or her thing. So, great smoke show there. That was beautiful. Car's still smoking, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna jump in with Badass and see what was going on with that lap time and that sixth lap. If that was a good lap or if that was just Jake showing off.
10-4. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in on the Apex Racing, the OFR, or the GT45 Gaming YouTube, as we're on all 3 YouTubes here tonight, throwing this out there, make sure to throw a like down. If you wouldn't mind sharing it out, that'd be fantastic. We want as many people to know about OFR, GT7NA as possible. Come check these guys out, man. Absolutely spectacular races. I've done I have done an abundance of commentary for the OFR over the last couple seasons, and they are really great races. So this is going to be no different, and they've got an absolutely amazing field of list of drivers here in this season. So it's really going to be great racing. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. And if you do want to catch all the races on the YouTubes, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on all those live notifications, no matter which YouTube it is that you guys are viewing on here right now. We appreciate all the support and just hope you guys enjoy the qualifiers here tonight. We are just waiting for the next driver to get on track, obviously. So Jake putting in the... if the final lap counts, I think it'll be officially the fastest lap. My bad, guys. Wanted to just get laps in OL off the bed. Oh, hey, what's up, my guy? What's up, brother? How you doing, Bipolar? It's been a while, man. I hope you're good, brother. I hope you're good. Hope you're not working yourself to death, but I hope you're good, my guy. I really do. Alright, so Jake is off track. We see Tattooed Freak sitting on track here now.
We there, Ghost?
Yep, I'm here. Yes, sir.
Alright. So, the news with Jake and his 6th lap. Basically what happened was somebody jumped into the room and jumped on track with him, and he lost some time because of it.
Okay.
And slowed down. So therefore he was awarded a 6th unobstructed lap, and that lap time does count, and that's a 1:58.31.
Absolutely,
so that's
crazy lap.
absolutely fast.
And actually, we do have the culprit of said little interruption in the YouTube chat here. GT45 Gaming Bipolar coming in apologizing to OFR and the drivers. He didn't realize that there was something serious going on here. He just wanted to come in and run some laps with the boys, so he does apologize to OFR, of course, for jumping in there. So we actually have Badass
all good.
And Badass is on track here. Badass is actually the headmaster behind the series that these guys are qualifying for here. Of course, he has to qualify just like every other driver, ladies and gentlemen. So he's out on track now, and he's going to take his crack at qualifying here. So let's get that information back up for you guys. So the one
just
thing
FYI,
we have noticed so far with the commentating is if you exit the lobby, you do have to reset all your settings. So we'll make a mental note of that.
not to leave the lobby.
Well, it's just because it's qualifying, right? If it was an actual race going on, then that wouldn't be an issue because, of course, if the driver, exits off track, we're not following that driver anyways. So, but because we only have one car at a time on the track, as soon as that car leaves the track, it takes us back out to the lobby, and then we have to wait for the next car to jump on track. So,
Gotcha.
we're learning too, ladies and gentlemen, here at Apex, and of course OFR and GT45 Gaming. This is a big part of what we do as league racers, is obviously try to bring the league races out to you guys as commentary, as a live broadcast for you guys all to enjoy. And we just haven't been able to really properly test this until tonight. So massive thank you to OFR for allowing myself and the guys to test this out tonight for feasibility. Obviously it's important as they do have an upcoming season coming. So we're definitely going to do our best to get these broadcasts out to everybody.
Watching Badass today throughout the day, he's putting down some pretty quick times himself.
So that was a 1:49.7 on the outlap. Now, on Deep Forest, your outlap typically is faster than regular lap just because of the shorter distance coming out of pit lane. It's one of the few tracks in GT7 where that's actually the case. Most of the time, he's got a 1 second penalty there, which is really unfortunate. So for Badass at this point, so what you do in a lap like this is you don't give up. You still push every corner, you push every mark, and you just try to get zoned in for the next lap.
From a driver's experience, when you're doing something like this, it's all about muscle memory and pace and feel. So just because he's got that 1 second penalty, he doesn't want to step away from that muscle memory. He wants to keep pushing and try and keep his speed up and his muscle memory as accurate as possible.
Absolutely, and I mean, a lot of these drivers too, if they pay attention when they practice, they watch these split times as they come across each timer line. So he's still going to have a really good idea what type of lap he's on, even with that 1 second penalty. When he hits the next live timing split, he's going to have a rough idea if he is where he wants to be at that point in the racetrack as well. I know Badass quite well. He's quite a calculated driver, so.
And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I saw Badass get down into the 150s this afternoon too while we were running some practice laps.
And that actually wouldn't surprise me. Badass has, over the last, say, 3-4 months, has just really found some extra pace in his racing lately. And then when GT7 came out, he just found more. So he's becoming a very, very quick driver.
Absolutely. Got to be just heartbroken about that penalty.
Absolutely, because unfortunately the penalty zone, you guys don't see it on the stream, so it doesn't show up with the little yellow flags, but it is like GT Sport and the FIA sanctioned races. There is an actual legitimate where you burn your penalties off setting in the lobbies here, and that's, of course, these guys have that turned on. So these guys actually don't have the ability to bleed these penalties off through the corners. They have to take that penalty in the penalty serving zone. So unfortunately for Badass, it's going to slow this lap down a little bit as well. Just due to the loss of speed up that start-finish line.
Yeah, exactly. Where they have the penalty zone in this track, being right there on the start-finish straightaway, you slow down for the last lap that you completed, that you're completing, and now you're also not up to race pace by the time you cross the finish line to start your time for the new laps. So any penalty will actually cost you 2 laps, and on a 5-lap qualifying stint, that can be sometimes it can be a problem.
Absolutely. So he definitely has to make sure that next lap is 100% clean, just not to chalk his whole qualifying run here today. And I mean, there may be exceptions to some of these qualifying runs too. I mean, obviously some of these drivers are clearly a Divisional 1 or a Divisional 2 driver, but qualifying is qualifying. Anything can happen in qualifying. So.
Not to mention, it kind of messes with you mentally. It kind of gets in your head, that you got a penalty and you screwed it up, and now you start thinking about, being short 2 laps instead of having your four hot laps. Now you're only down to 2 decent hot laps.
He's still on a really good time here, though. He's on a quick time here. Even for taking that penalty, just under the 152 with that penalty, and that probably cost him a good second on his run at the last lap, so that potentially was a 150 mid there.
Absolutely.
So now it's of other importance that, again, what Tattoo was just saying a little bit earlier when we seen Badass come out, muscle memory is really key here. Stick to his mark, stick to what he knows, and just have a good, solid, clean lap here. And you can tell exactly what Tati was just talking about. You can see that it's in his head a little bit, suffering that 1 second penalty there. He's not utilizing a full racetrack in this lap just to make sure he gets that really safe lap in. And then this next lap, we'll probably see him push. There was a couple of those corners where, just watching his line, you could tell it was a very cautious line.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got that in the back of his head, and let's not get another penalty.
Even coming out of that corner there, typically the drivers want to get right on that curb, right up against that wall. He just didn't want nothing to do with that. Tap that wall, get that penalty. That's again very cautious lap.
I do think that I don't think he has wall penalties on. I think it's just track cutting penalties for qualifying.
So that's a good thing then. But again, just not taking the risk. Just get that good clean lap and see where he's at, and then now he knows what he's got to do, right?
Like you were saying before, Badass is a very calculated driver. I've been driving with him now for several months, and I've watched him improve his times and his speeds and whatnot, and it's actually very impressive with how calculated he can be.
Yeah, he's going for it here. You can see it just the way he came out of that first corner. He is going for it this time. He's throwing all caution to the wind. I can guarantee you he's not happy with that lap he just put down, and he's going to put it on the line this lap. And you can see it. He's really starting to stretch that car out across the racetrack now. He's getting real tight on those corners. Great exit there.
He's up 4/10 over his fastest lap, so that would put him down into the 150s. No, I'm sorry.
151 lows. Yeah.
Mid 151s.
And of course, the extension of this straightaway is new here in GT7 on Deep Forest. Obviously, anybody who remembers Deep Forest from back in the day, it wasn't quite this long of a racetrack, so they have extended this racetrack just a little bit here in GT7. But I think that they've really added good flow to the racetrack by doing that. So, a great exit.
I think it makes it a lot more technical.
He really came out. He's actually purple right now, ladies and gentlemen. So right now he is absolutely crisp in a lap. He took a lot of that corner. I was wondering if he was going to pick a pen up there. He took a lot of that curb, but I guess you could take that much curb.
Two tires on the yellow, inside of the yellow, you can get away with it.
He's on a lap here for sure, ladies and gentlemen. No question of a doubt. He is flying. This should be a 150. There it is, 150. Oh, just 151.
Oh.
A 151.167. So, really great job there by Badass. He might be a little bit disappointed with that, obviously, because he knows he can do better, but that was a really solid run there by Badass. Again, chalking his first 2 laps with that penalty, he really homed it in and got a good lap there. So, he should be okay, I would think, for D1, but only time's going to tell, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to drop in a hello and good luck. Thanks, LJ. We appreciate you, brother.
151.1. That actually puts him into 3rd place.
Yeah, that was a good lap. It looked like it was going to be a 150. He came out of that final corner right around that 150 mark time there. He just maybe didn't quite get the best exit he wanted out of that final corner there.
Yep, that actually puts him, man, about 0.3 of a second behind Jake.
And he was purple going into that final sector there, that final run. So he definitely had a much better 3rd sector than Jake did. Freak, if you're ready.
Oh, dude, I'm going to send a message, dude, and let Dubs go quick.
Yeah. Alright, so BA Dubs, ladies and gentlemen, really excited to see him here qualifying today. He's a pretty vital member of the GT45 gaming community here. And of course, he's, just a huge member of all the communities involved here. Really, he's a big part of everything in the group, and he does his absolute best, participating as much as he can. He loves to race, ladies and gentlemen, and just thrilled to see that he's here qualifying today, and we'll see how it goes. Just give it a second, chat. I know that black screen of death, right? It just looks so like, oh no, what's happening? So we do have a couple of options while we're spectating, ladies and gentlemen. We can show you their nicknames in GT7, because GT7 has an option to have, from your actual official PSN ID, you can actually change your name to a different name for your nickname if you choose. So it's a kind of a cool feature, but I also have the option to show you their nickname or their actual real PSN ID. So there's a new feature in the spectator mode in GT7 that GT Sport didn't have. So that's kind of a cool little function, but we're missing all the really cool stuff, and we really want it back quickly, so hopefully they get on it. Pardon me, chat.
Absolutely. You know, you hear a lot of the big-time YouTubers and streamers talking about what they like and dislike about the game, and at first it was, you know, the whole financial system in the game and whatnot, and how much grinding you'd have to do in order to make money and whatever, and now that they've kind of got that, Polyphony got that situation kind of squared away, I hope they start focusing more on the multiplayer aspect of it.
Absolutely, we want to get these series kicked off, and we want to get everything fired back up in full swing here again, like like as if we never left GT Sport essentially. So
Yeah, and not to mention, now that they've changed the economy of the game, they're actually making it easier for us multiplayer drivers that run multiple different cars on different tracks and whatnot, to actually be able to go out and afford to buy those cars without having to grind hours and hours and hours to buy a GR3 or a GR2.
Dubs is having a little bit of lag issue here as well. Hopefully, I'm not sure if he's seeing that on his end or not. It could be, it could not be. Again, it's just the way these GT7 lobbies are right now, unfortunately. But unfortunately, he's got a big-time penalty there, so he's going to have to lose that penalty, as we saw from Badass in the last qualifying run at the start-finish line there. So it's going to cost him lap 2 as well. So he's just got to use lap 2 to really home in that line, and then come down on lap 3 and 4 with some quality runs. Dubs is on controller too, ladies and gentlemen, so he's unable to drive, wheel, and pedal. So he does his option is, of course, controller. So very feasible on GT7, however, ladies and gentlemen. And I have tested controller driving on GT7 quite a bit in my GT7 playing so far, because I used to be a pad driver, and very, very feasible. So it's actually more feasible in GT7 than it actually is on GT Sport. So, yeah, he's just got to get dialed in. He's just got to get himself dialed in.
Hopefully he gets this all out of his system here on this lap, and gets himself 3 clean laps to prove himself.
Just a massive penalty, such a big penalty.
Costs so much time. And I kind of understand where Polyphony was coming from when they put some of these penalty zones in those types of areas, like it really kind of deters people from getting penalties as much as possible, because they know that it's going to ruin 2 laps.
Ooh, what did he get a penalty there for? I'm not sure where he got the penalty there for.
I didn't see where he got that from. Yeah.
That's maybe he tapped the inside wall in the tunnel there, and we just didn't see it.
I don't think. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have wall penalties on. So I don't understand where he's getting a 1.5 from, unless it happened coming through turns 1 and 2 somewhere.
And I mean, it looked really
took a little longer to load.
It looked really crisp, those corners too. So yeah, I'm a little confused where that penalty came from, for sure. Because that tunnel, there's not really a track limit in that tunnel. It's walls on both sides. Yes, so
correct.
So maybe they'll give him another lap here. I'm not sure what the ruling will be there. We're not sure, of course, if Dubs is in the chat with the guys or not either. So, but I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, no matter where Dubs ends up in Division 1 or Division 2 here, GT45 Gaming will be there to help him practice for these races. So he will most certainly get dialed in, we assure you. Alright, so he's just really got to work this lap in just having a good, clean, crisp lap. Make no major mistakes. And the trick to controller driving in GT7, ladies and gentlemen, is really very fine movements in your joysticks. The bigger the movement, the more reaction on your car. The smaller the movement, the more that car is going to be your friend. So for all you controller drivers out there, really with GT7, the key is very small, very small movements, and yeah, you'll find yourself flying. I've done most of my licenses and most of the missions in the single player campaign on my controller, and the result of most of those are golds, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm quicker on controller than I am on wheel, let's put it that way right now. I don't want to say anything about what we're watching here right now. He's looking solid, looking very solid this lap. That was a very good entry and exit there into that long sweeping corner. It's not really a corner where you need a whole lot of braking. You're really mainly using your RPMs and your shifter in the car to really kind of slow the car down to get through that corner. You can take that corner at a fairly high rate of speed, so great exit on that corner there. Actually, he had a really good exit on that corner there.
I was just talking with Badass, and he has no idea where that penalty came from either. That 1.5 second penalty came from either. So Badass is going to try and reach out to Dubs quick and let him know that he gets one more lap.
Alright, so there we go, 155. He did play that a little cautiously, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, he just wanted to get a nice clean lap in there. So hopefully he gets the memo, and we just see the message.
Looks like he's still pushing.
We did see the message come across here from the OFR officials that he can get that extra lap due to the weird penalty. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are still sorting, GT7 still sorting out some issues with the lobbies and the glitching and lagging, but I mean, we have faith. Obviously, with the new release of any new game, there's always complications, and we don't doubt for a second that Polyphony will get on top of these issues and sort them out. We just have to be patient, even though it's really hard. But Dubs was really utilizing the whole racetrack so far on this lap, and it's actually really good to see. So I think he's maybe starting to feel a little bit comfortable behind the wheel of the Supra here. So and he actually, as you were watching him come into that corner, he did exactly what we were talking about. He really used the shifters to slow that car down there. Ooh, a little bit. Yeah, he's getting. There's wall contact. That's for sure what it is.
Let me talk to Badass.
Because that was literally a wall contact penalty. So I think what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, is anywhere on the track where a wall is the track limit, I think if you touch the wall, they're giving you track limit penalties for that. Alright, so as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, he is on lap 6. Now again, this is because of the mystery penalty from lap 2 that he received in the tunnel here, so this is making up for that lap. Obviously he got a penalty where he shouldn't have, so now it's really unfortunate to see, ladies and gentlemen, that we do have the lagging. Now, I honestly don't believe that Dubs is lagging. I think it's just the lobby. I think it's just the way the game is right now. No matter what I'm watching, whether it be a daily race or just an open lobby race I'm partaking in here in GT7, we do see quite a bit of this from a lot of the different cars. From guys that we drive with quite regularly that typically don't have issues with their cars glitching like that, so it's definitely a GT7 bug going on right now. And again, all these things are being reported to Gran Turismo, so they're going to work on this stuff, but see what Dubs does here. I think some of the biggest issue that Dubs is having here, much like in GT Sport with this Supra, when you in these second gear corners that are at a higher second gear speed, it's almost better to actually take those corners in third gear. It gives you a little bit more stability in the rear on the power in the car coming out of the corner, and you don't lose the time in that shifting from second to third. You lose, a half a tenth a second in that shifting point. So, yeah, he's just a couple of shifting errors here that's costing him a little bit of time on track, but this is a pretty decent lap here as well. So. Be about the same amount of time that he is there.
155.288.
Yes. right, so Dubs is going to be a little bit disappointed with that. I know Dubs quite well. I'm sure he probably wanted a little bit more out of the car than that, but that's all right. It is all good. He'll be ready for race 1. You can see a little bit of another lead coming in right there, just verifying that time for the officials there to try and make things a little bit easier for the officials at OFR. So great stuff by Dubs there.
Yes, absolutely. I did tell him though when I did talk to him quick before he qualified, because he's not on comms with the rest of the guys, to verify his time before he leaves the track with what he sees. Because earlier today, for some reason, we were all seeing a little bit different times.
And we do have that same glitch actually in GT Sports as well, which is unfortunate. You just have to exit out into the lobby and then go back into spectator mode again, and it typically sorts it out. But new game, I don't know if that little trick works here or not.
Well, I tried that a couple of times, and unfortunately it didn't work. I actually had to exit the entire lobby and then come back in, and was able to reset that way.
And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I know you see on my screen a Super GT 500 1997 edition car. That is not the car that the drivers are using here today. The drivers are using the 2018 Toyota Super Concept GT3 car. The only reason why I have that one up on the screen is because I don't actually have the one that these guys are running here today. I haven't went and bought it yet, so... But that GT 597 is a nice little car too. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy driving that car. It's a lot of fun to play with. So who's on track now?
This is A-Mob.
All right, so A-Mob. What do you know about A-Mob? I'm unfamiliar with this driver, so.
A-Mob runs with the MGC crew, and you know, I don't know a whole lot about him. I've raced a few races with him. I believe he's somewhat new to the whole driving experience, but you know, he seems to be putting it down.
Yeah, and you know, that's what we love to see, guys. You know, guys that aren't scared to just get right into it and see what they can do. And you can see the little bit of inexperience here in this outlap coming into the braking zones of the corners. You can tell he's a little aggressive on the braking yet, as you can see that back end of the car really sliding out on him a little bit here. So, you know, just even in the wheel and pedal settings here in GT7, sensitivity really is key, especially in your throttle and braking control. If you jam those brakes too hard, the back end of the car is going to react like you would fully expect it to in real life. And if you slam on the gas too hard, well, it's gonna smoke those back tires up, and that may mean you're losing traction, of course, in these, you know, 500, 600, 700 horsepower GT3 cars. So.
Yeah, like I said before, it's not a very easy car to drive, and you know, a lot of these guys bought the car today.
And
you know, so they don't have much track time in it.
They don't
have
deliveries.
Much track time in it, or yeah, absolutely.
They all don't have a tattooed freak making awesome liveries for them.
I'm on it. I think I made our liveries like a week ago when we found out that that this Supra was going to be the car of choice in the voting poll. I had already owned it because, of course, I drove the Supra quite a bit in GT Sport and kind of transferred over into GT7 with it.
And you know what I think we need to do, ladies and gentlemen? I think we need to take a track like Dragon Trail Seaside. We need to go run 3 laps on GT Sport in this mode, what you guys see here. And then we need to go to Dragon Trail Seaside on GT7 with the same car, run the same thing, and just put them side by side and really compare the differences in the game between the two games. I think actually that's a really great idea. Can really show you the differences between the two games.
It definitely sounds like that would be interesting to see.
It would. It would. Now, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, GT7, once they get the lobby and the multiplayer part of the game really functioning well, is a complete game changer. It is a 10 out of 10. But at the moment, the way the game sits, I personally only give it an 8.5 out of 10. And that's strictly due to the fact that, of course, our multiplayer and our lobby options just aren't there yet. But this is a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. I think Gran Turismo 7, Polyphony, and everybody else involved in the game, of course, all the manufacturers for all the cars we see in the game, of the racetracks, and of course all the sponsors that get involved with Gran Turismo, did a really great job at simulating Gran Turismo. So Gran Turismo's never... They say it's the real driving simulator, and back in the day when Gran Turismo really cut its teeth in the PlayStation market, it was what you would call a driving simulator in its time. But now in our day and age with technology and gaming consoles and of course computer systems out there now with the capabilities they have, simulated racing has really changed over the last 5-6 years, and it has become very, very realistic, real physics, you know, like you're driving the real thing on the real deal. And Gran Turismo 7, I think, did a really great job in capturing that this time. So this game really is going to be just a top shelf game once they get everything sorted and moving fluently.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. You know, I spent a lot of time growing up when I was younger. You know, we hit the 25th year anniversary of Gran Turismo being on PlayStation, and I hate to age myself or date myself, but I've been playing all 25 years.
Unfortunately, me too, my friend, me too. And here we are as just big kids still doing it, man.
And the frustrating part about it is you know, kids that just jumped on, you know, 16, 17 years old that jumped on and started playing GT7 or GT Sport, you know, are turning laps, you know, 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds faster than I can.
Yeah. Well, that's that whole as you get older, we lose our reaction time thing, I think.
Absolutely.
We got to use our brains more than we got to use our muscles. And Mod is doing pretty well here. You know, he's knocking those times down lap by lap there.
We got a 1:57.8 for the fastest.
He is actually down on this lap right now, so we'll have to see if he can make up the time here in this final sector.
I know he had just jumped into the room earlier today, maybe a few hours ago, and was asking what car we were using and whatnot. So I know he just bought it today. And then about an hour ago, he jumped into the lobby ready to do his qualifying time, and we kind of talked him into going and running some more practice laps. You know, we're not in any hurry to get your qualifying in, so run as much practice as you can, you know.
And a little bit of a mistake there. He was a little unsure of himself going into that corner there. And we actually seen him touch his brake in that mid-corner there, so that's definitely going to cost him a little bit of time as well. But hey, we all got to start somewhere, ladies and gentlemen, and just a huge respect to this guy for jumping on the track and giving it everything he's got, man. And you know what? By the end of the season, he's going to be happy with his improvement, and that I can promise.
Absolutely. It's great to see some of these guys, you know, the more inexperienced guys with racing and all that stuff come in here and grow throughout the season.
And he took a really brave line through that final sector there, through those final 3 corners, so good on it. That was a very brave line. And he's down in the... Oh, I thought he was going to squeeze it there. He must have made a mistake somewhere in the mid-lap there. All right, so last lap here, we're rooting for him. We want to see... I mean, we know he can get in the 155s, ladies and gentlemen. We know it, we feel it, so we're rooting for him here. Letting off the throttle a little bit there. He's just a little unsure of himself. Potentially a controller driver, judging by the way the car is kind of handling around the racetrack here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 on that. At one point, I thought I heard that he was on a wheel, but I could be wrong.
He does have pretty smooth turning input, so he might be on a wheel. He just might be, you know, maybe not have his wheel settings quite right, maybe to his liking yet.
That makes a huge difference,
It
too.
does, it does. I've been playing with my wheel settings since GT7 came out, so for 5 weeks I've been trying to get my wheel homed in, and I think I finally got it to where I'm liking it now, so...
I think I'm up next, buddy.
Oh, well, you got it in you. You got a 150 in you today, Tat? I think you got it in you.
I haven't hit a 150 yet, dude, but...
Well, you know,
we'll
go out, run those first 3 laps, and if you're happy with what you got put down, throw one down and see what you can do, man.
Absolutely.
Just trying. It kind of looks like he's having a better lap here, but I haven't been paying attention to that live timer as he's going across him here.
I haven't caught it either.
This is tough to say here. He's coming out at about 149. It's about a 6-7 second run up to the start-finish line from there. It's gonna be a 158. Oh, 159. All right, so we got a 157.829 for A-Mob here. So great job for him, man. Credit to him coming out and giving it everything he's got, man. This is a very tough car, especially if you're just learning how to play Gran Turismo 7. The Supra is a pretty tough car to just jump into and really give her balls to the wall, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it looks great. Looks absolutely great. So we're going to mess around with some camera angles while Tattooed's doing his thing as well. We're going to test out some of the camera angles, see if everything's working there. And maybe we'll leave that because I believe Tattooed's going to stay in the comments box while he's doing his qualifying here. So we're going to try not to bother him too much while he's doing his lap here. And I think, yeah, you know, he'll give you a perspective on how he's feeling as he's going through when he's comfortable to do so, of course.
Nervous.
You got it, brother. You're a good driver, man. Have faith in yourself.
Are we the only ones left in here? Can you see who's left in the room?
We do have Cabbage still sitting in the room. Dubs is still currently in the room watching, and you and Badass.
Cabbage is already qualified.
Took a little while that time for it to open up. Ah, there it is. Had to find the right button. Well, Tattooed's on his outlap. It's actually a really good time. This is a new camera angle here in spectator mode for GT7, and this is actually technically would be on the roll cage just behind the driver in a sense where the driver sits in the race car. And it really gives you a great shot here. You can see the steering wheel, you can see the driver himself, you can see the driver shifting when he goes to shift. You can see the driver reacting to the environment around him as well. So really great camera angle this one here. Alright, so we're just going to mute our mic here for Tattooed, so we're not bothering Tattooed with our chitter-chatter here. We really want to give him the fair advantage like everybody else, and allow him to have a nice, good, quiet qualifying run as well. And of course, if he opts to talk about what he's doing, of course, we'll let him do so. I'm catching a little bit of the wall on exit there, so that's going to slow him down a little bit coming up the straightaway here, but... So to officially be his first lap here on track, so it seems like all our camera angles are at least working for our base camera angles. So I mean, commentary feasibility in GT7 is feasible. yes, it's feasible. Is it going to be to the caliber that we're able to do it on GT Sport right now the way it sits? No, we don't have the keyboard, we don't have our shortcut keys, we don't have live action replays. We're limited to what the controller can do and only what the controller can do, and I've basically shown that all to you right there. So, but I mean, it is feasible. At least we can bring this action to you guys and gals out there, which is fantastic. That's what we're really hoping to see. The lobby's been up for several hours today, and the lobby's holding up, which is also good to know. And
slight mistake on that last turn.
And we do have, you know, we're able to get races off. So there is issues obviously in GT7 within the lobbies, but we do have some feasibilities here at least. So that's fantastic news for the racing community and the racing fans, and of course the racers. So. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually just going to plug my keyboard in just cause. You know what? Why not, right? What's it going to hurt? Alright, so the keyboard is hot, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if she does anything. Let's see if it does anything. No, unfortunately it does not, ladies and gentlemen. It just acts like a controller, which is really unfortunate. But, you know, we gotta check it all out. So we do have a 151.421 sitting on the screen here for lap 2. So he's already in Division 1 times. That was his first hot lap, so really he could just go for it here now. You know, he'll probably put in 2 more fairly solid, consistent laps, and then, like I said to him there before we jumped into the car there, you know, if you're happy with what you got sitting there, really put it on the line and see if you can really push the envelope. And we do appreciate everybody for stopping in and tuning in here tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen. We are just doing a commentary test for GT7. Of course, the OFR is a league that GT45 Gaming does broadcast for. And of course, a lot of these guys are members of the community and personal friends as well. So, yeah. We were planning for this day for a while now to do this test. And so far, everything's going pretty well. So, you know, there's some feasibility here, and I'm really happy to see that. And you know, it's hopeful moving into the future of Gran Turismo 7. Of course, again, we're seeing a little bit of glitching from Tattooed, and we know that he's not. Again, I race with Tattooed regularly, and he never has an issue like that with his cars any other time. So the game's, you got some stuff to work out still, but. He's on a good lap here. He's nice and smooth. He's not really spinning his tires too much. And we did have Apex Cabbages leave the room there, so that might have been the cause of some of that glitching we saw.
It's just so nerve-wracking.
We just don't want to disturb him here. We really just want to give him his fair shot at this qualifying here. I know myself, I don't do well in qualifying. I'm not a qualifier. I'm a racer, you know, yeah, so unfortunately hot lapping is not my forte. I'm more of that, I find my comfortable pace on the racetrack, and I I just try to stick to that, and just as the race progresses, try to build off of that consistency and get a little bit quicker as the race progresses. That's how I typically choose to race my races. If I try to, push a 20-minute or 30-minute hot lap session, essentially, I tend to really make a lot of mistakes, as I just haven't built the muscle memory up yet. And Tattoo's on a good lap here. Let's see what he gets coming across the line here. Oh, that was a quick lap. That was a 151.341. So let's see if he really hangs it all out here. Now he's on his final hot lap. Oh yeah, he's going for it. He's going for it. He is absolutely going for it. You can tell when the driver's going for it here on Deep Forest, right in that first sector, man. If they really go hard over those first few corners like that, full sending it like that, which you can, you should be able to full send those 3 corners if you do it just right. So yeah, he's going for it here. He's going to see if he can push that 150 mark. I know he can do it. I know he has the capability to do it. As a race car driver, you get comfortable with your pace, and sometimes that actually inhibits you of getting a little bit quicker. So sometimes you just gotta take the chance, hang it all out there, and see what you come up with. And I'm thinking he's probably pretty happy with that 151.3 right now. So I'm thinking this is that lap where he's gonna see what he can. He's just gonna throw it all on the line and see what he can come up with. He went in really deep to that corner, really late on the brakes, and man, he got a great exit there. I think he's on a lap here, chat. This is a tricky corner because you're coming uphill and then you're coming downhill. And then you got to come into a hard corner. So a really great job there by Tattoo getting around there. Very little tire squeal. And a very little tire squeal is very key to speed. In and out of corners, of course, the more your tires are squealing, the more time you're losing, ladies and gentlemen. So when you are racing, when you're training, keep that in mind. And yeah, he's on the lap here. He's going to come out of here at about a 141. Yeah, he's looking at a potential 150 here, guys. This is a very nice lap. Oh, he just didn't quite get it. Oh, great job there by Tattoo. Nice laps, man.
Man,
very consistent.
I think I was holding my breath the whole time.
You definitely let it all out on the line that last lap. I could tell on your entry into the first sector, man. You were going for it.
Thanks.
No, that's a great consistency. That's a great grouping of times, ladies and gentlemen. From his fastest to his slowest time, we're talking like 0.4 of a second. That's a very, very good grouping. That's very great consistency.
What do we got? 151.4 or 3.4?
151.341 is what I got on my screen. Yep.
3.41. All right.
All right, it's a great run, man. That was a good run. That was a good run. It looked good.
I appreciate it.
And I was explaining to the chat there while you were running, you were coming around these corners with very little tire squeal, so you really were maximizing as much speed as you could get out of that car coming in and out of your corners as well. So
Trying to do my best.
We do. We have Aqua now jumping on track here. And it's looking like Aqua's coming all the way from Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Judging by that flag we're seeing beside his name there, so we have drivers literally from all corners of the world here in OFR competing in these races here this season. So love to see that.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Tasmania or something along those lines.
So that would be New Zealand then, I believe.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, actually, 100%. I don't know my Australian geography quite right. I do know that if you're from New Zealand and you'd say to them, oh, hey, you're from Australia, they tend to not like that too much. So we definitely want to make sure we're getting that right.
151.341.
I really thought you had that 150 in that final lap. You came out of that final corner right at that 140, 141 mark. It was like right there, man.
Yeah, that final corner really causes some issues with me.
It's a tough corner. They've changed that corner from the original Deep Forest. If anybody remembers the original Deep Forest, they've definitely changed that final few corners there. As it used to be a really high-speed S-curve leading into the finish line. It is definitely not a high-speed S-curve anymore. They have really tightened up that curve.
Yeah, I think in the later Gran Turismos, like Gran Turismo 5 and 6, is when they actually changed it and made it more of a chicane, but you can't, like you could go a lot quicker through it. It wasn't so sharp.
No, you were able to cut the curves quite a bit and still really keep a good fast line through the updated versions in 5 and 6. But yeah, they have definitely really made it a slow speed technical sector here in GT7 for sure. And we're at Trial Mountain actually, ladies and gentlemen. I keep getting it wrong. Alright, so we got a 149.6 on the outlap, so he's on pace. And as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys could tell this on the stream or not, when he comes over that hill, that Supra is actually getting a small amount of front end air lift on the front tires there. You can actually see that car kind of lift a little bit and then come back down. That's not because of the power behind the engine in that car. That's just because of the elevation change in that particular spot of the racetrack. So you really got to keep that in mind. You don't want to be turning your wheels when you're right at that point where your car is really kind of losing that center of gravity, because when you come back down, it's going to be enough to throw that car for a spin.
Yes, it definitely does unsettle that car somewhat.
He had a really good entry there and taking a really wide exit there, so maximizing the track coming through that corner there. Using all the curbing available, just missing the apex there. And not quite taking a lot of track there, so we probably lost about 2 to 3 tenths of a second in that couple of corners there. But a really good exit out of that corner. And this is a very tough corner here now at Trial Mountain. It's very hard to judge your turning point and then your acceleration and turning point again here for the final S. And then of course not.
Absolutely, everything seems to want to get unstable going through that chicane there at the end.
We got a 151.426 I see on my screen there for that first hot lap. So he is cooking here too today. Oh, and he's going to lose a little bit of time there. And that was that exact point that I was just talking about, ladies and gentlemen. He had those wheels turned just the slightest amount, going over that little bit of an elevation change, and it was just enough to unsettle the car for him. You really do. Even with the controllers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't have the experience with the controller for PS5 with the haptic feedback. I could only imagine how much better a controller feels with that feedback system in place on the PlayStation 5. I'm just on PlayStation 4, and I can tell you, I could almost feel what the car is doing even in a PlayStation 4 controller. That's how good the physics are in this game. Like every little bump, every little dip, every little change in the road, you can feel in these cars. On a wheel and pedal set, if you hit a little bit of a dip in the road on the racetrack at say 120, 130 mile an hour, it will pull your steering wheel in your hands if you're not ready for it.
Yes. Just like if you accidentally get two tires onto the grass, on a straight line, it'll pull you towards the grass a little bit.
We're going to see
very
about
hard to get out of a situation.
152, maybe 153 here. So he made a little bit of a mistake
155.5.
Okay, so I'm not...
What are you seeing for lap 3?
We're going to jump out. We're going to jump back in, chat, because we're definitely having an issue as far as the live timer is going here. So let me bring this back up and see if it changed it. I had a 153.258 that third lap there.
Yeah, I had a 150.555.
Alright, so this is definitely one of those situations where the driver needs to confirm his fastest lap with the OFR officials. I'm sure Badass, of course, who's watching alongside us outside of the comm box here. Hopefully he's not having the same issue as we're having here.
I'm going to hop out of the lobby quick, dude, and hop back in, make sure it's me that's seeing the wrong times.
Ooh, and he didn't quite get that corner just right there, so I don't think that he's going to have the best lap here. You can see he's just 3.5 tenths of a second down here at the moment. Sometimes when you're qualifying, you feel like you're having a good set of laps and you just try to push a little extra, and in reality that might actually screw you up. So that is the case in this lap. You can definitely see he's a little later on the brakes into the corners, and he's struggling with that, so he just needs to go right back to where he was, stick with his marks, as I believe his times are quite good, from what I can see on my screen anyway.
There is such a thing as overdriving the car. It's pushing too hard, you know, and getting a little bit over eager.
So I had a 153.131 that lap there. So Aqua here is on his final lap.
That's what I got now.
Okay, so we are seeing the right times
I got the
here.
same lap. I got the same lap time you did on that one. And of course, that's why we're verifying with several different people throughout the qualifying. We're watching, I think there's 3 or 4 different people watching right now. Actually, Ghost, you make 4 or 5.
Which is good. The more eyes, the better. Just the easier just to verify these things.
Absolutely. That way we can all verify that we have the right time. And then also, most of the drivers are jumping into a party chat, so they're able to convey what they're seeing back to us.
And that's right. Of course, we're not in that chat, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't want to be sitting here chatting and just saying what's going on track. And of course, being in these guys' ears, distracting their laps. All the drivers have had a fair play rule put in place today, where they get silence in the chat while they're running their laps. So.
You know, with all the leaks that I've been running in lately, it's actually, I was actually kind of nervous that it was so quiet in here while I was doing my qualifying. I'm so used to having people in my ear while I'm driving now.
Yeah, see, I'm much like that. I prefer not to have the extra voices in my head when I'm running laps, so I'm definitely a lot better when it's quiet. But I mean, you know, as we progress in our content career and our commentating career, we're getting much better at having the two things happen at once now.
153.131. Is that what I'm seeing?
I do see a 151.426 on his very first hot lap, so.
151.426
is what I see for his fastest.
Okay.
He had his first couple laps were blazing
get a hold
quick,
of,
and then he just slowly kind of lost him at the end. Again, I think he was overdriving the car. So we're just verifying. It did look like it was. They were very solid laps. Even though he was overdriving the car a little bit, they still look quite quick. I guess I could have a real timer and be, you know, double verifying, I suppose. You can see the track officials there. You can see the crew chiefs and the pit crews there sitting at the wall, documenting, and of course keeping track of what all the drivers on track are doing as well for their own informational purposes before before the season starts, seeing what drivers to look out for, what drivers have this tendency, that tendency. So you see all the crews working off on the sidelines here for the drivers, the pit crews working really hard here today as well. Trying to get as much information for their drivers as they can moving forward in towards the season. So and Tattoo's just verifying with the driver, and of course Badass, and Tattooed, of course, one of the OFR guys helping out with the league there as well. So
All right, just talking with Badass. Yes, we can confirm it was a 151.426.
Absolutely quick lap. That was a beautiful lap there. That was his very first attempt at it too, so that was his best lap. So he took a different approach than we've seen most of the drivers tonight, where he laid down a lap and then started to push right away. And unfortunately, that cost him 3 slower laps. But the last lap, he did start to kind of dial it back a little bit, and it started to look like it was a pretty good solid lap there. So, some drivers just react differently under certain types of pressure. So, and of course, looking at the DR SR on Aqua, it looks like he potentially is maybe a fairly new driver to the game as well. So, to have those kinds of times, looking like maybe not potentially competing online as much, I would say he did pretty well. I would say he did very well.
Absolutely.
So now we just get to hang out here for a little bit, chat. We don't have anybody else jumped in at the moment here to go run any laps, so we'll give them till what is it, about midnight Eastern time, and I think that's going to be about it for it anyways. So
Yep, he was saying that there's like one more person that's signed up to qualify right now, and he was going to shoot him a message to see if he was around. If not, I guess we're done.
And I'm not sure how it's holding up on the OFR end of things on the stream there, but it so far it's been holding up really good on Apex and GT45 channels. So I'm assuming it's holding up quite well on OFR as well.
I'll go check.
Kudos to Streamlabs for the awesomeness being able to stream to 3 different YouTube channels at the same bloody time. That is really, really, really awesome.
It is still up and running.
Beautiful. That's what we love to hear. And then the audio's been fantastic the whole stream as well. Of course, I had to do some driver updating most recently, so that probably playing a pretty big factor in the audio holding up much better here in the stream lately as well. So
awesome.
Except for, I go to set the stream up to do commentary for another league earlier this week, and I have everything set up, and I hit that go live button, and that's when it tells me I need updated drivers. So yeah, scramble time, get everything updated, installed, and get everything fired back up. And man, we just caught the last 4 minutes of qualifying before the race started, so very fortunate that it didn't take hours to download the new updates. Unfortunately, with esports, sim racing, and streaming, and everything that goes involved, it's all the electronic part of that equation. Sometimes things just don't go our way. Tonight, everything's been holding up really well, though. Again, the lobby has been up for a very long time, so the fact that these GT7 lobbies can be up for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and still hold, good news. That is really, really good news. Spectating mode has been going pretty well. It's a little slow, it's a little sluggish, but we do have all our basic angles that we have in GT Sport, and with the added extra cockpit angle, which is fantastic. It is an absolutely beautiful angle and view that they've given us here in GT7, and I'm sure that when it comes down to race time and there's 14, 15, 16 cars on track, I'm sure it's going to be just fine as far as cycling through each car goes. The unfortunate reality is we did plug the keyboard in, we did check out to see if any of that stuff was working, and unfortunately we don't have things like live action replays yet, but I have faith that they will be coming soon. So, commentating feasibility for leagues in GT7 is doable, 100% doable. It's just not going to be quite to the same effect at the moment.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
It's all right.
With,
it's all good. We'll just sit tight here and we'll have a little chitty chatty, and life is good, you know. And I mean, you know, I do want to say huge kudos to Badass and everybody in behind the scenes over there at OFR. Badass has given up his whole Sunday today to allow these guys to have a ton of freedom as for when they're able to qualify. Plus, he also ran another OFR league race on top of having the qualifying lobby open today. So massive shout out to Apex's Badass. And really great job by him and everybody else that's helping to get this thing going efficiently and get these drivers through today, get qualified. So just want to give that big shout out there. And, you know, credit is deserved where credit is due by all means. And he's been working his butt off with OFR to get this thing off the ground for GT7. And, you know what, I can't wait, guys. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out some stuff here.
Yeah, you're
conversating with Badass back and forth here.
I'm in here now.
No, there he is.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good.
Nice qualifying round to start off with.
Thank you. I didn't have a good luck at the first there, and when I got the penalty on the first lap, but I started sweating too. I was like, oh God.
Well,
I don't think I was breathing.
You had a good cautious lap, the third lap, just to make sure you got a good, decent time in there, and then
that's right.
And then it looked like you settled back into your rhythm and gave her again in that final one. So
that's exactly what I done. I was like, I just got to get a lap in the books here, get it close to like the 152s or whatever, and then go. Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, the like 150. High 152s and 153s are like on the cusp right now.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, the times are very tight. The qualifying's been very close here today. And I was just saying to the stream and, of course, the chat, you know, I just want to say huge kudos to you, man. A round of applause to you for giving up your Sunday here today to allow these drivers the freedom to qualify when they're able. And, of course, running a league race on top of it all today as well. So, just massive shout out to you today, my man, and of course everybody behind the scenes helping you out there.
Thank you. Yes, another massive shout out to Freak. He's been my voice that couldn't speak. He's been there when I have not said anything, and he's been like, boom, right on everybody. So it's been great. Thank you so much.
Oh, not a problem, man. I'm glad I could help. I'm just trying to take a little pressure off of you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Teamwork makes
it's not easy to run a whole league.
Yeah, and do all the moving and shit. That's right.
So,
well, the good news is that, I mean, commentating is feasible. It's definitely feasible.
Okay.
We don't have, you know, keyboard options. I did test the keyboard out. We don't have, you know, the live action replays and the extra camera angles and all that fun stuff we have in GT Sport with the keyboard, but we do have all our basic camera angles plus the extra cockpit view that GT7's added in. And we do have good car changing capabilities. We do have looking behind and in front of the car. So, you know, as far as commentating goes, we can definitely do it. It's just not going to be to the 100% full effect we'd like to bring it out, but definitely feasible. And I mean, the fact that you've had this lobby open for 5 or 6 hours now, it goes to show that the lobbies are stable enough to hold up for a while. So that's two very good positives moving forward into GT7 for sure.
For sure.
And it's going to be fantastic racing. I can't wait to see it this season. We are going to commentate as many of them as we can, ladies and gentlemen. It all depends on the schedules at this point here moving forward now. As life gets hectic sometimes.
For sure.
Did Cabbages get a hold of you, or did he send you a message?
Yeah. Do you want to just send him that to shut him the hell up?
We're still live, buddy. Yes, I'll send them that.
I'll get a message here in a minute.
You'd be like, what are you saying about me, boy?
Well, I sent it to you, so if you wanted to post it in the Discord, you could. All you got to do is copy it and paste it.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's up to you, or I can do it. It's since I'm sitting here on my laptop anyways.
Too bad the times weren't a little straighter.
Well, I did it in Word, and they're perfectly straight in Word.
I gotcha.
But
if I copy and paste it, I could make it better. I could fix it.
Or use Microsoft OneNote. I can just copy and paste it, and it paste it exactly how it is on your OneNote paper.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what I use for doing stewarding notes and stuff. And literally just copy and paste it in the Discord, and it shows up exactly how I have it typed.
So we have the very last person coming in 20 minutes.
20?
20 minutes.
Yeah, we can wait. We're good with that.
It's up to you. You don't have to wait. It's going to be uproar anyway. He's going to probably set the fastest time of the night anyway. So if you do want to wait for him, it'll probably be a person to be on board with.
Well, we'll keep the broadcast up until midnight Eastern time, and then we'll shut the broadcast down. And I believe Badass will be looking about that time to be shutting the lobby down anyways. So.
Yes, sir. I've been on here for quite a while.
And
12.
And then we'll just be done for the night, and then tomorrow's a new day, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. We got some more qualifying during the week to do with a couple of the guys that couldn't make it tonight.
Yeah, I just realized that Monty wasn't around.
Nope. And we're going for we're gonna give Dubs another shot at qualifying because of the wall penalties. I don't know what was going on, why he was getting wall penalties and other guys weren't.
I think what was happening is in the two spots where he hit the wall, there's not a track limit there. The wall is the track limit. So I think what happened is him contacting the wall in the tunnel and contacting the wall. I think it was in that final sector there right before you come into the final corners. The game determined that as track limits. I think that's what was happening. So I think it's just an error within the gaming system itself.
I'm going to give him another go here during the week. He's going to do some more practice and stuff. So
I'll get on track with him here before then. I'll try to get on track with him and try to help him out a little bit as well.
Yeah, I did do, I went personally with him on a call and done a track guide with him. But I'm sure, when he first came in, when he first started, he was doing good, and then it seemed like he started dropping off there at the end. I don't know if the pressure was getting to him or something. But
I think maybe he was just pushing too hard.
I think that might be what it was. He was just pushing a little bit too hard. But the first 2 laps he had come out looked great. Everything looked under control, and
except for the 3-second penalty that he got.
Except for the 3-second penalty.
That was a legitimate penalty.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That one was.
He just missed the track. He just missed the turn in on that second corner and just went a little wide there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just it's one of those things, man. You start feeling the pressure, and you start pushing a little too hard, and you get a little sloppy, in your brake zones and in your turn-ins,
and that's
my
your
qualifying.
Exits. That's my qualifying in a nutshell. I don't focus on what I know. I just try to put the absolute fastest time possible in, and that usually means I've made a mistake half a dozen times before I get to the finish line. And not necessarily a big mistake, just the smallest of mistakes. But those smallest mistakes, a tenth of a second here, a tenth of a second there, add up really quick.
Especially if someone's in your slipstream.
For sure.
So right now, we got, the way it sits, dude, is we got Proctor in first, Jakey in second, Badass in third, Freak in fourth, Ninja Kid in fifth.
What about Cabbages? I thought Cabbages was ahead of Ninja Kid.
Aqua, and then it's, nope. Cabbages set a 151.599. So between Cabbages and you, we're all separated by less than 4/10.
Yeah.
So Division 1's only separated by about 0.6 of a second right now, ladies and gentlemen, maybe 7. So that's a pretty pretty good grouping at times.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely going to make
It
for
would
some good pack racing this season for sure.
We'd probably have it a little bit closer like GTC if we had 75 people show up.
Well, you guys got 2 divisions worth of drivers. That's really good. Moving out of last season, so
Definitely, considering we got down to like 7 and 8.
Yeah, it was a tough finish to the season for sure.
It was.
GT7, of course, rejuvenating a lot of people, a lot of interest in some of the players that may have left GT Sport because it was just getting repetitive and boring.
Yep.
GT7, of course, has rejuvenated a lot of that interest again as well within the sim racing community. So a lot of people coming back to the game and giving it a legitimate shot again.
Yep.
Right now we got 23 qualified.
Okay, so it'd be after Uproar should be 24 tonight. Then we got Kill to do this week. Who else? I know there's a few other I gotta do. So.
Right on.
Awesome. So it looks like we're gonna have 2 full divisions moving forward into season 3 at OFR here, and potentially with some reserve drivers in the mix as well in case somebody can't make it.
Unfortunately, no.
No reserves.
No, we're not we just don't want any incidents like poor
Gotcha.
Jakey should have had the win before round 9 had Super Ninja not done what he had done that race. I mean, it was racing, but I mean,
yeah,
he was a reserve at the time and he did take out Jake by being a little too aggressive. So
fair enough. And of course, that's something I'm going to be taking a look into moving forward into season 2 for myself as well, is that reserve driver situation. So,
yeah.
You know, it's a good thing, and it's a good thing and a bad thing.
It is.
You know, the bad aspect of it is just like what Badass had kind of explained. You know, a reserve driver can come in and ruin somebody's race when they're not really in the points championship, or they're driving and collecting points for the driver who couldn't make it. Now, understandably, real world life happens, and people can't always find the time every week to sit down on, you know, and get into their rig and drive. But on the other hand, you know, part of making a commitment to being in a league is making the commitment to being in a league and being there, you know.
Absolutely. So yeah, you know, each league is different. Each league has a different set of rules and guidelines they follow, and of course each league has a different way they operate and run their races, and that's the beautiful thing about esports racing. No 2 leagues are ever actually the same, and you're always up for a little bit of new and a little bit of exciting no matter where it is that you're racing. So, you know, one of the really fun things about sim racing. So,
Absolutely.
but I want to go give this thing a crack in that Supra. It's too bad I don't have one.
Hey, it's only 450 grand.
Oh yeah, and I mean I'm sitting on 8.5 million credits, so as you see at the top of the screen, so it's not like I can't go buy it.
There you go.
Yeah, I am going to start buying up cars here pretty soon. I've just been kind of hesitant and waiting, but now that I'm starting to get into GT7 leagues, it's time that I have to go start stocking up on my car list as well. So
It's only preseason, so if you wanted to join us for preseason, we're not doing comms for preseason, but
we'll see. I mean, I have a potential other league commitment for Sundays, and I gotta kind of wait on them to set their schedules. So
yeah.
I mean, a lot of leagues right now would be running right now if it wasn't just for the lack of multiplayer settings that we have available to us right now. But we know we got leagues out there doing it. We got leagues out there already on GT7. They're running races. They're getting these races out. They're getting them done. Of course, I'll be participating in a GT7 league race next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, I guess now. And of course, that will be live broadcast. So I mean, there are guys out there doing it. So it's definitely doable. It's just some people would rather wait to have some better fine tuning within the options of the lobbies. Is that a BMW?
Yeah.
The M6 is not supposed to be very good, I heard.
Well, I'm gonna find out.
Now the M4, on the other hand, GT7 in the GT4 class, ladies and gentlemen, is actually quite a very solid car here again in GT7, just like it was in GT Sport. It was actually quite a solid car in GT Sport as well. And my Audi TT Cup car, GT4,
Wow.
beautiful car, still a beautiful car. I'm definitely looking for a GT4 series to get into so I can run that car around the track all season.
Your Audi?
Oh yeah. It feels good in this game. There's a circuit experience with the Audi on Miyabi Short, and I crushed that thing. Crushed that circuit experience. And it's because I just know that car so well. It's not much different on GT7 than it was on GT Sport. It does tend to have a little more understeer coming out of exit, but it handles really great. It's really stable in GT7. Good solid car. And everybody's like, ooh, the OP Audi, the OP Audi. Well, you know, the OP Audi has horrible front tire wear. Keep that in mind.
It's not even OP anymore. Tidney said that it's
just a solid car now.
They've completely destroyed it.
It's a solid car now. It's definitely not OP. It's a solid race car though, but it definitely lost the straight line speed it had in GT Sport. Like, it does not have the same straight line speed, but it still hums around corners like a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I could deal with that in a race car. If it can really hum around a corner and it's lacking a little bit in the straight line, I'm okay with that, because if you can utilize your exit on a faster car and get in that slipstream, they'll just pull you along with them. So.
Yep.
But the BOP settings does need a little bit of work in GT7 yet too. I don't feel like the BOP settings are a fair advantage enough yet, especially in the Group 4 class right now. The BOP setting is very, very unbalanced from certain manufacturers to others. There's just some cars that are just absolutely horrible with the BOP setting on. They're not even competable. So there is a little bit of work for the GT7 to still do here with things like BOP and the tuning and stuff like that. But you know, they'll get it. I don't doubt for a second they won't get it. So it takes a lot of player feedback. It takes a lot of feedback from their their main content creators. You know, the big time sim racing creators out there, of course. Polyphony and GT7. They do take that feedback that they get from these guys. They take the feedback from the communities, the forums, everything that's going on through their Facebook groups and all the social sites. And eventually they do hear us, and they do hear our complaints, and they do try to sort everything out for us. It's just a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. So.
SR Dog is literally right on the cut line right now.
Oh, I hate that feeling. That's the worst feeling in the world, being on the bubble, man. Hate being on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember. I don't even remember how this series is set up. Is it a one-make series, so you pick your car and that's your car for the season, or?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I haven't quite tested all the Group 4 and Group 3 cars out enough yet to really know what I like and don't like yet, but the Supra does feel really good. I'm a pretty big fan of that RX Vision. Unfortunately, I really don't care for the Porsche much in GT7, which is unfortunate because it was one of my favorite Group 3 cars in GT Sport. Not a fan of it here in GT7. Definitely not a fan of the Lamborghini GT3. Very tough car to drive. Don't know about the rest yet. I've tested quite a few of the GR4 cars. The BMW M4, again, is a very solid car. I enjoy the Audi. It's just one of my favorite Group 4 cars. The Scirocco, much of the same as the Audi, unfortunately. It really did take a lot of the OP-ness out of it from GT Sport, so to speak. But it's a small, light car. It's still quite efficient. And I haven't tested out the new Suzuki yet, but it's one of the cars I'm going to be testing soon. The GR4 Supra really isn't as good as I was hoping, unfortunately. Yeah. The Ferrari's crap. The Ferrari is so bad on BOP right now in Group 4. It's really unfortunate. Not even a competible car. Yeah. It's just the Group 4 class is just really, unfortunately, unbalanced at the moment. So they'll get that sorted.
Sylvia's a nice car in Group 4.
It is, actually. You're not wrong there. I just haven't had much of a chance to play with it yet. The Viper GR4 is a little bit iffy as well, but the GR3 Viper feels pretty good too.
Yet to try the Viper in this game.
The
or the last game.
Viper, the GR3 Viper in GT7 is much better than it was in GT Sport. They didn't dumb the car down so bad it's not any good anymore. It actually has some top end speed. It has some of that torque that you'd expect out of a Dodge Viper. So yeah, in my opinion, I think the GR3 Viper is much better in GT7 than it was in GT Sport.
Good.
I agree. It's one of my favorite cars. So.
I'll have to try it one time or one day.
I haven't went and bought one yet. It's coming though. We even got some sweet.
I bought a few cars.
We got some slick liveries on standby for some of these cars too. We got to go start buying them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to get all mine made for me. Well, actually, it's not unfortunately. It's fortunate.
We're just.
I gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah, me too, because our team isn't releasing the team liveries yet till we actually start team racing. So, just relying on the old GTS liveries right now. We did make a custom brand new livery on GT7 for our Mazda RX Vision. It turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it.
Nice.
It's a typical GT45 style livery. You know, it's a little bright, it's a little flashy at points, but it settles in really nice. It fits in pretty good for a Rockefeller Racing livery. It's not obviously up to the caliber that the livery makers over there do. They put out some pretty crazy looking liveries, those guys, but it's Rockefeller Racing approved, so that's all that mattered to me.
Yeah. That's right.
And, you know, that's a big part of about when you're a part of an actual sim racing team, ladies and gentlemen. You know, most teams have it set up like that where they have one or two members within the team that do liveries for league racing and FIA and daily races and stuff like that. And then, of course, from there on in, as far as GT7 goes, you know, your street cars, that's kind of on you. If you want a livery for it, go ahead and go ahead and do it. So.
Oh, I got a 150-1.7 in the BMW, so it can't be that bad.
A lot of that information is just based off of feedback I'm hearing from other players.
What's that? Oh, about the M6?
Yeah. I haven't actually driven it myself yet either,
Oh, I had no idea. Like I went the other day and was buying up GR3, GR4 cars, you know, and I don't know, like I didn't want to spend the money on a GR or on the GR3 M6, so I signed a contract with BMW and I got a M4 and a M6 for free.
Yeah, I know. I haven't decided what manufacturer I'm going to sign with yet. Obviously, I'm not taking part in the test season because it's just every other day is not enough time for me to be able to prepare with tuning and everything going on with those test seasons. So,
right.
You know,
and that was kind of the point. Go ahead.
When they put them back to a weekly schedule, then I'll definitely be into them and involved then.
Yeah, And that was part of the thing, you know, buying up GR3, GR4 cars just to test them and see what I can do with them. You know, what's good, what's not.
Well, that's you know, a new game. Everybody's in the same boat there. We got to grind out the money. We got to buy the dang cars. We got to test them.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, we need to have the cars in our garage anyways, because eventually we're probably going to end up having to use them somewhere along the way.
Or make a livery for them.
And not even drive them. Just make a livery for them.
Oh, I'll probably end up driving everything that I have to make a livery for.
You ever drive the GTR?
I haven't yet, but it was funny because I just changed, because I made the livery for Jake, specifically for Jake.
Yeah.
And I didn't make one for myself. Well, the other day I went and made one for myself. So now I have a livery for it, so I'll probably test it. In fact, I was just going to jump in it right now, but I don't have all the tires for it that I need. Which is stupid.
I know.
Now I have to go spend 50 grand buying the tires.
Another 150 grand
or more
for a full set of tires for the car, yeah.
I wanted to try out the WRX, and I keep on forgetting to get fucking tires for it. And every time I do it, I have to remake the fucking lobby, so I don't leave. Oh, sorry. My apologies. And we're on OFR too. And
38
YouTube.
grand, 28 grand.
Yeah, it's about 150 grand to buy racing hard, soft, mediums, and both wet tires.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, with the progressive weather, you need to have the wet tires in your inventory, because you just never know what kind of league race you're going to end up in.
Exactly.
I was looking at the settings for my race on Saturday, and I'm sitting here in the back of my mind going, I better have some intermediates with the car that I'm driving, because there's a lot of clouds in the forecast.
I did notice, though, that when you go change the rims on the car, that you only have to buy the rims once, and you can use them on any car.
That's actually kind of a nice feature, too. And, I mean, the rims are at the same price as they were, I believe, in GT Sport to initially buy them. So, I mean, yeah, just go. I mean, there's only, maybe 100 rims? A couple $100 grand, you can own every rim. Huh.
Did I see somebody join the lobby?
I just did.
Yeah, tattoo.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went out and bought tires for this GTR.
This sounds so good in GT7.
Yes, it does.
No, the GTR was a very, very tough car to drive in GT Sport, so yeah, I'm definitely interested to test this car out myself as well.
I don't know if it got any easier.
I got a nice Rockefeller racing livery for this guy that I made too, so... benefit to league racing and having to make your own liveries for some of the leagues, because the livery makers weren't able to do is I've got a few extra Rockefeller approved liveries kicking around my library.
Nice.
Of course, stripped down with no league decals on them, just customized for this, just for having fun. Looks like it's handling the corners pretty good around the track here.
It is. I do have traction control on a little bit. I think a couple of... Ooh, that one understeered quite a bit.
Again, the GTR is a very big, bulky, heavy car, ladies and gentlemen, so... if we had to compare it to another GT3 car in its class, unfortunately one that we don't have in the game, I would have to say it's about as big and heavy as that Bentley GT3. And we're really hoping to see that Bentley GT3 find its way into GT7 eventually too.
Do we ever?
You know, there's a few cars that I'm really surprised aren't in here in the GT classes yet. You know, we don't have the McLaren 7, what is it, 780?
720.
720?
720.
720.
Yeah.
We don't have the Italia Ferrari F488. You know, we're missing more of the newer version model of the GT3 class cars in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we see those in future updates. I believe I did see an update saying where they were releasing some more cars and track layouts as well coming up here in this month. So
Be exciting to see the new tracks.
I don't know if it's gonna be new tracks. I guess it's gonna be more track layouts. So you might see like a Daytona reverse maybe or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, like Alsace Village, they don't have a reverse layout for Alsace Village in DT7, so you might see something like that come in. You know, it would be nice to see something like maybe Apricot Hill Speedway come back or something like that. Would be really cool too. Hope maybe they'll keep bringing back some of the old classics from the original games. That'd be fantastic. Like that crazy test course from GT5.
I don't know if I remember that one.
Oh, it was a everything all in one course, man. It was just a crazy course. It was like an airport setting, and like it had every kind of corner you could imagine, and it had every kind of situation you'd expect in a racing situation was in that one racetrack. It was just phenomenal. Can't remember what it was called now though, but
Yeah.
it was something
I don't
test
know,
course.
GT,
It wasn't
GTR
special
hasn't seen that.
stage. Wasn't special stage Route 5, was it?
Nope. But you know that would be a cool set of tracks to have in GT7, Stage Route 5 and SS and that. You know, much like Tokyo tracks. We don't have, Seattle, New York, the city circuits. I'd love to see the city circuits come back.
Road America.
Yep.
Oh,
Silverstone.
yeah,
There's so
Road
many.
America.
I mean, we could name off so many great racetracks that we'd love to see in Gran Turismo Sport, I suppose. You know, how about a Canadian racetrack? We do have racetracks up here in Canada, guys, you know?
Really?
Yeah, we got.
I didn't know that.
We have IndyCar races up here in Canada. We got big tracks. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, but those are street road tracks.
still fun. Yeah, Toronto, Montreal, Edmonton all have IndyCar races every season. I believe Montreal has Formula One race as well.
Yep.
I saw something, I might be mistaken, but I saw something on my Google News feed at one point that the 2023 season Formula One's going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada.
That is confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. I actually know one of the gentlemen who was working that broadcast, so that is 100% verified. There is F1 going to Las Vegas in 2023. One of my community members was out working that broadcast, so
I wonder what they're going to do or where they're going to run it. You know, like, are they going to set up a street course?
Oh, yeah.
And run
It's
through
right
downtown
down.
Las
right down the
Vegas?
strip, man.
Yeah, man, right down the strip
You betcha.
is the
Oh
main
my
street.
God.
You betcha. It is going to be crazy.
I'm going to have to get tickets.
You better get them now.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Because they're going to
Dude,
sell
I just talked to
out.
one of... Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they're gonna sell out like right then, like as soon as they're released, man. That's gonna be, bet you, one of the quickest sellouts for Formula One history.
Yeah. I talked to one of the drivers at work. He's a delivery driver for Penske, the truck company, and he was in there picking up parts the other night, and he was telling me that he's going to his stepdaughter is getting married in the south of France, and it just happens to be the same week as the Monaco race.
Oh.
So he talked to his wife, they jumped online, and they got tickets. So he'll be sitting trackside at the F1 Monaco race.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, and apparently with the tickets, they were like $1,300 a person. But apparently with the tickets, he's able to, like one day you'll sit here on the track, the next day you'll sit here on the track, and then the next day you'll be on a boat watching one of the straightaways. So they move you around, for 3 different days, whether it's practice and qualifying, and then the race or whatnot.
That was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of interesting.
Yep. So we have Uproar coming in here in 5 minutes.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is a top tier driver, so we hear. So we're looking forward to see what he's got to put down here tonight.
See if you can't top that top time of, what was it, the 150.407
7.3. 7.3.
Which is a very quick time here at Trial Mountain, especially with full BOP and no tuning allowed, which means the drivers do not have the ability to change their brake balance on the cars. These guys are stuck at driving these cars complete stock settings with a 0 brake balance, and that's it. They just got to give it all they got. And for some drivers, a brake balance of 0 is not a comfortable setting, so it really changes the complexity of the game.
Anyone that's driven the GR Supra knows that it does not like even brake balance.
It really doesn't. I usually run mine at about -1, -2, depending on the track I'm running on.
Yeah, I'm at -2, -3 most times.
Yeah, -2, -3.
For my driving style.
Yep.
Of course, I am starting to find myself dipping into that -3 range here on GT7 with a lot of these FR cars, just because of the physics difference.
Yeah, it helps trail brake a little easier, for sure.
I find it helps keep the back end really settled down.
That's what yes, for sure.
My biggest issue right now in the game is on exit. I'm still not feathering that throttle enough yet, and I keep finding myself putting too much power down too early, and it just spins me. I'm really struggling with that right now.
What car are you using?
Every car.
Okay.
It's just the same. I've got to break the habit, right? I can't jam on it right away. I gotta ease into it, wait till that car is settled, and then put the power down.
Well, I was a big time Corvette guy, like in GTS, and I got to here, and 4 races in a row, it killed me from that snap oversteer. I had to put it away.
I have heard that the Corvette isn't as good to drive in the new game as it was in GT Sport.
It's definitely not. The Jag is definitely a very well-rounded car.
And we know
I enjoy driving it.
We know McLaren in Group 4 and Group 3 is solid in both classes as well.
I'm yet to try the GR3 one, but I think I may go buy that one later.
No, they're both quite good. For an MR, as far as like handability goes, going into hard braking zones and that, they do really well. It seems very stable for a mid-rear engine car. The circuit experience on Mount Panorama is actually with the 650S GT3, and yeah, no, that thing hums around that track pretty good if you really get it right.
Nice.
And we're going to be racing at Monza this weekend myself, and I've been contemplating taking the McLaren, but I'm going to stick with the Supra. I feel really happy with how the Supra feels in GT7.
The 500?
No, the concept.
Or the GR?
Oh yeah. No, I'm taking the new Supra, not the old one. Although I do like the GT500 97 edition, I think it's a very stable car, and I think it's probably one of the best GT3 cars if you're learning how to play the game to actually start driving first. It's just a super stable car.
It's another one of them. I find it's a lot like the GTR, where it's a little more of a straight line car, and it does not turn that great in the front.
Oh, really? I love this GT500. I'm a pretty big fan of it. But I do enjoy the new Supra, the newer version Supra as well. I was a fan of it in GT Sport near the end once I learned how to drive the car. Of course, with some help from Tattooed Freak on the side as well, really dialed me into driving that Supra over there. And did a little bit I have driven it here on GT7. I also really, really like the way it feels. It seems like they've pulled a little bit of top-end speed out of the car, but overall, still a really good car in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And they've changed the shifting points a little bit on the Supra and GT7 as well. You were able to short shift or really kind of throw that car up into the 3/4 shift range of GT Sport. It didn't change the power band on it, but in GT7 it does make a bit of a difference where you shift that Supra. It doesn't have such a wide range of a power band in the new game as well.
Still not too bad, but no, yeah, you're right. It's definitely not as good as compared to all the other cars as it was in GTS.
It's just not OP anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah. Which is good to see. But I don't like that the RCZ is OP now.
Yeah, there's a nerf coming for the RCZ and the Mazda RX Vision. And in all honesty, I think that the Mazda RX Vision isn't OP. I think they've got it exactly where it should be. It's still not a great car in straight line speed like it was in GT Sport. It just has a little bit more acceleration than it used to. Other than that, it's the exact same car still. It's still very, very touchy on the throttle on corner exits. Not a lot of it, it handles the same way in GT Sport. It just seems like it has just a little bit more acceleration pace to it now. So I'm not sure why they're going to nerf the RX Vision. I really, really don't. Because I think that they've got it pretty well balanced already. I didn't like the car in GT Sport. I actually liked that car quite a bit in the new game. So it sounds a little bit better too in GT7, and that helps a little bit. But I haven't really tested out the LMP1s too much. I haven't really played around with the GR2 classes yet either, so we still have a little bit of playing around to do with the faster GT classes, but we'll get there.
Does anyone know how long that update takes?
For?
The update that we just got? The 1.11?
Mine... I don't even remember, dude. It didn't take that long.
Mine downloads overnight.
It's not that...
So I don't even know.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Okay,
I thought it was only like 900 megabytes. It was under a gig. If I'm not mistaken.
He's just doing the update now and he'll be in.
Oh, yeah. Then you'll have to go potentially through the music rally and everything again. Some guys had to redo everything just to get back into the dang game.
I didn't have to do that.
Me neither.
Well, if he has to do that, I'll just get him on a different night.
Well, it only takes 2 minutes to do the music rally.
He already sent me, yeah, but if you do the music rally, you can't go in lobbies until you get Cafe Book 10?
No. All the saved data is still there. It's just some stupid update glitch. It's for some players.
Gotcha.
It's only for certain players. Some players haven't been phased at all. Like, I turned my PlayStation on and everything worked. So.
Mm-hmm.
But Dubs, for example, he had to go through the music rally. He had to reset all his settings and everything. And then it got back in and his data was still there. He had to go through a couple extra steps to get it there.
Bullshit.
Yeah, so I know a couple other guys that had to go. They got into the game and had no data. They had to restart their systems and go to their cloud save and bring their data back, and then it was good. So yeah, the update had a few issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the old Trial Mountain didn't have the chicane at the last day. It used to be just a little tiny bit of a left-hand turn, right?
No, it had the S's, but it was still designed where you could still cut the corners really good and get a lot of speed out of it. It is not. It never used to be as technical and tight as they have it here. And they've extended
yeah.
they've extended this track by probably about a mile to 1.2 miles as well, because both those straightaways were never that long either.
Okay.
I think Trial Mountain used to be about a minute 30 to a minute 40 lap.
And now we're looking at minute 50.
Yeah. I mean, top split guys could probably do it in 48s, 47s, I'm thinking, but... Like,
48s?
Like, we're talking like top split guys. Like,
Yeah.
World Tour drivers, right?
They might be able to get into the 47s. We had a guy in our lobby the other night do a 148.9 or something.
Well, I believe it's Monday tomorrow night, PUBG Mondays, so PUBG tomorrow night. You betcha, my man. Nobody ever said I was playing...
Who's asking?
Nobody ever said I was playing PUBG on stream tonight. You guys just assumed that.
I thought you said something about it being a PUBG night tonight.
Well, yeah, if we were done 2 hours ago.
Oh. Who's asking about PUBG tomorrow night?
My boy Bandit.
Oh, yeah, count me in.
PUBG Mondays, baby.
I'll be home about 10 p.m. my time.
We don't want to designate Sundays for PUBG, just due to the fact that eventually my Sundays will be taken up by league racing, so... There will be 2 PUBG nights a week on the stream moving forward. I just, it's not defined yet. Monday for sure, but the rest of it's not defined yet. We're winging it right now until everything kind of sorts itself out in GT7 here.
We'll see if last week was a fluke.
Nah.
With all those kills I was getting.
I haven't played in a long time. I was definitely rusty, but I'm starting to get the rhythm back again a little bit.
Hell yeah.
I've always never been the kill leader on the squad, but I've always been, the guy that finds the guys, calls out those coordinates, so...
Yep.
As long as the guys are dying and it ain't us dying, that's all that matters, man. The odd trade here and there works too.
Wow, dude. This car, dude, I tell ya.
Which one you got now? Just waiting for the blocks.
The
RS01.
RS01. I can drive it around the track almost perfectly until I get to that fucking hairpin corner, and it just, in the braking zone, not even under throttle, it just fucking spins.
Live.
Oh. It just frickin' spins, man.
Well, I mean, the RS01 was a bit of a handful in GT Sport if you overdrove it, so I would imagine it's no different here. It does look like
it's one of those cars
struggling with it a little bit.
It's one of those.
Nicer,
it's one of those cars where you definitely, you're definitely putting your brake balance to the front a lot.
Oh, I got familiar with that RS01 there at the end of last season. GTC, that was our final race of the season on Le Mans with this car, so we got real familiar with it real quick. Yeah, she's a handful.
Does anyone know who this Energia is?
Yeah, he's one of the ICER guys. Probably doesn't realize this is an actual qualifying thing going on.
No, because God forbid OFR NA qualifying is not enough to make him understand that.
He's one of the guys that was racing with us this year, and he's one of the guys in the community, so he probably just seen my name in the lobby and jumped in.
Yeah. No issues. If he's still in here when Uproar comes in, he's just getting booted.
Yipper. Bipolar apologized too, by the way, for jumping on track to Jake's qualifying there. He didn't realize what was going on either.
It was no big deal. I was kind of hoping he was going to stay
there
and
it
do
goes
some
again.
qualifying.
God damn it.
Yeah, he was just looking to do some laps. He jumped into YouTube right away and apologized.
Yeah, no worries.
We all love to see Bipolar
decent...
on track too, man. Bipolar is absolutely a great racer.
Yep. Same with ASR Elliott. Would have loved to have both of them on the track with us.
Absolutely. Is he not running this one?
Nope.
I actually haven't seen him much on GT7 yet.
I know. Actually, he was on all day today.
Was he?
Yeah. I've been trying. I told both of them, like, we have times that could probably work for you. And Bipolar was like, yeah, that probably would work for me. And still, he didn't go show GT7, so obviously didn't give a shit too much.
Nah, he's just busy. He's really busy with the business
I know.
endeavor right now, you know.
And that's with Elliot too. He's the same thing. He's busy as fuck. They both do like work for the city or something like.
Yeah. Real life is real life, unfortunately.
That's right.
We gotta.
But yeah, go ahead.
We gotta separate ourselves from our virtual lives and still worry about what goes on in real life, unfortunately. So.
That's right.
It does look really good on GT7, that car, though. It's got some great lines to it.
Let's see if I bin it again in that hairpin or that fucking tight left-hander coming up here.
Live. I know you. I know.
Oh.
We're both bad for swearing, man.
I catch myself biting my tongue from time to time when I'm commentating too. Trust me. Ooh, don't say that.
Well, I'm like every 15th word is a swear word coming out of my mouth, and freak is about every 10th word. So.
Well, on a normal day, it's like every 4th for me. So you know, the fact that we can do commentary without swearing once is a feat in itself.
Yeah.
Because if I just try to do a normal stream with family friendly, yeah, that ain't happening. I'll blow it within the first 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we're
Come on, Uproar. I want to get done.
Yeah, we're just waiting for one more driver here, chat, and then that'll be our last qualifier here for the day. So. But I am excited to see that we can do commentary on GT7. I think that when I relay that information to some of the guys that are kind of waiting for this test to happen here today, I think we'll start seeing some forward action in some of these leagues. And a lot of leagues that are used to having broadcasts done while they do their races, of course, don't want to start their leagues unless they know commentating can be a viable option as well, because they want to make sure that their fans and their communities are still getting every little bit that they've been getting on GT Sports. So. And Energy is a controller driver as well, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell as you see the headlights flashing when he's coming through the corners here. So. And Energia can really lay down a good lap. Energia is just doesn't have that consistency down packed yet, so you'll see him throw down a couple of really solid good laps, and you'll see a couple of not so good solid laps. But seriously cool dude, man. New father as well, so congratulations to him for that. And baby's absolutely beautiful.
Are you still in contact with Uproar or what?
He is
Badass.
really lagging though. Ooh, ooh.
He's at 65%.
Shit, is he on dial-up?
Is he? Wait, he's at 65% downloading or 65% copying?
I'm not sure.
It'll be downloading. Copying takes
seconds. If it's no copying for me, copying took longer.
Oh really?
It took longer to copy the file and install it than it did to fucking whoops than it did to download it. It only took like minutes to download, dude. It was only less than 3 minutes to download, and it probably took good 12 minutes to copy, if not longer.
I don't know what these guys are running for internet, but I mean, I downloaded a 60 gigabyte game the other day in 32 minutes on Wi-Fi, so...
Yeah.
That was PUBG, as a matter of fact. Oh. Can't wait to see what this PlayStation will do when I actually got a hardline connection in it. See what kind of time he's at here, guys. He's in the core family. This isn't an official qualifying time. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, he's not in the right car.
I mean, you can tell him if he can gladly join if he wants.
I'll definitely throw it out there in the ISO group actually for you guys, because they might actually be able to race the time you guys have the races. Because for me, they're 18 and a half hours ahead, so they'll be 15 and a half hours ahead for Tattoo, 15 hours, I think, ahead of you, badass.
Okay.
He's definitely lagging, no chat. There's no question of doubt he's lagging.
You know, in GTC this year, you got that a lot with the Australian drivers.
And it's just, yeah, you know, and a lot of these guys are hardlined in, too. That's the funny thing.
Well, I just think it's a difference with the regions.
Yeah, because they might see ours as our skipping.
It could be, yep. And I do know, like, Call of Duty is a really good example, like when the guys from Australia and New Zealand jump into US servers on Call of Duty to play with their buddies in the US, they're playing on quite a high ping, 250 ping, and that's a really high ping, especially for those PC players. So it definitely, the distance from the servers that you're playing on really do absolutely make a difference on your connection strength for sure. I know even guys that are in Hawaii playing on an East Coast North America server will have quite a bit of a higher ping than, say, a guy from the West Coast, just because we're so much further away from that East Coast server, right? So it definitely does play a factor. I mean, we have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, the internet for places that are so excluded from major land masses like Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Hawaii, you got to remember that their internet is fed underneath the ocean, laying on the ocean floor, man. Like, that's, you know, so there's a lot of travel time there for that information to travel before it's processed too, right? So even a few milliseconds makes a difference in latency.
Those are some long fiber optic cables.
Yeah, like crazy, man.
You should see how they do it.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's insane.
It's really
the boat
intense.
They do. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
I think me and you probably watched the same show on that, I bet you.
I bet you we did.
I'm going to have to look it up on YouTube.
It is quite the undertaking, that's for sure.
It is quite the undertaking.
But hey, we got internet all around the world, man. So kudos to those guys slapping that wire down in the ocean, man. Keep it up, keep it on, brothers.
That's what I'm saying.
And I mean, just China and Japan are just absolutely frontiering internet speeds with fiber optics too, man. So I mean, it's only going to get better and better. Oh, hey, I think he just popped in. I'll do that. I'll actually send a message out to Benjo, and I'll give him the details, and I'll let him post it in the ICER Discord.
Who's iDrive SF?
That's a different guy.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Never heard of him.
Is he qualifying? Badass.
I'm gonna check right now.
I didn't know if he was in the OFR league or what. No, he just jumped in a Porsche.
How does he get one white headlight and one yellow headlight?
Who's that?
I'm watching Energia right now. He was flashing the lights. One was white and one was yellow.
Really?
That's really weird. Yeah, that's trippy.
Maybe it's... yeah, it is, dude.
But when the lights are off, he's got two yellow lens covers.
Huh.
Oh, there's another little bug in the system. Ooh, I seen a bug come up in somebody's Discord the other just earlier today too. Let's see if I can go find that again. Brand new bug somebody just discovered in multiplayer, I believe it is. You gotta stay in the know, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta stay in the know. I thought that was right there.
Cabbage just sent me a message that said, thanks, guess I should have practiced more, but it's all good. He was hinting that, like, all we were doing was running around in practice all day today.
I know, like, I done fucking, like, 10 laps all day.
Yeah. Same here. I haven't even done that many laps all together, period.
Where the hell is this bugs and glitches, Jim?
Oh, he's gone.
Uproar's in.
Ah, yeah, there's a bug for the Super Formulas right now. If no nitrous is selected in the lobby settings, Super Formula and any other cars that have an overtake feature cannot be selected to enter the room.
Oh, wow.
It comes from a pretty reliable source too, so I believe it. Alright, so we do have uproar on track here, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully the rest of these guys don't jump out on track and screw with what he's got going on here.
There's no one. I kicked everyone else.
Okay, perfect. I'll send Energy a personal message after he's on.
Well, no, he left himself. I'm sorry. I kicked iDrive.
Okay, gotcha. So let's get you guys some racing information up here so we can take a look at what his times are, and of course, you know, you guys can take a look at his shifting points, and, you know, all that fun stuff.
And keep in mind that this guy's on motion controller.
A motion controller, all right.
Insane.
It is insane. He's like ridiculously fast.
Have you played with him much since GT7?
No, just last week.
That was a very slow outlap, that's for sure. What was your time on that, Badass? I think mine's way wrong.
Mine says 217.
I have a 158.
Yeah, that's what I saw when he went across the line too, but I see a 217.
Yeah, I got a 158.4.
that's what I saw when he crossed the line on the actual timer on the screen, but then when he went across, my screen said 2:17, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, there's no way he done
so
it in
my-
2:17.
So
He
my
didn't do
time should have been
2:17.
I
right.
don't think so.
Yeah, your time is right.
Oh.
There's
Well,
no way he
just
done it
left him.
2:17.
Yeah, I feel like that was wrong as well. I don't know, he might be, man, because he's up 3 seconds right now. That might have been a 2:17.
No way. 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Even if it was a 58, he should be up 6 seconds.
Oh yeah, right, we're looking at 150s. Correct. That's right, that's right. He has a really different line coming through those final 2 corners than I've seen every other driver so far today as well.
I know.
This is going to be
He takes it even wider.
153. No, just under. That was about a 152.8 or something like that, I think.
Yeah. It says 157 on my screen,
Yeah,
but
mine
that's
too.
not right.
That's definitely not what it was.
Dude, he's lagging super hardcore on my screen.
Ours too. Well, mine too, anyway, yeah.
Where he's like jerking every like 25 feet or so.
Even less, yeah.
Oh. So it's going beep, beep, beep,
Yep.
beep, beep,
Yep.
beep, beep, beep. Oh.
What time did you have their tattoo for him?
I don't have one. I jumped out of the room and came back.
Okay.
And it's showing right now that it's his first lap.
Okay.
It's flashing. So, but I see fastest lap is a 152.566
Okay, yeah, that's about right.
on the left.
Yeah, that's about right.
So this is his lap, his second hot lap, right?
Yes, lap 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And he is up, so. Ooh, that was a 150 or really one low 151.
I
Yeah,
got
there was a high-
150.918.
Yep.
That sounds right.
Yep, it does. I mean, it was right on the cusp there. So, ooh, he goes off track here, chat. So, that's probably going to cost him a penalty right there. And if that is the case, that's unfortunately going to ruin the next 2 laps for him here. Actually, I don't see him picking up a penalty there.
No. So he's got one more lap to go.
He got really fortunate there that he didn't pick up a 3-second penalty there. So this lap won't be the fastest lap, obviously, because he did make contact with the wall and go off track a little bit there. So this will be a slower lap that we've seen from him so far, but he'll still have one more crack at a really good hot lap yet after this lap, ladies and gentlemen. So, and for a motion controller, he's quick. He looks very smooth. It's hard to tell, obviously, with the little bit of glitching we've seen there, but the driving is very smooth. You can tell.
Oh, he's a great driver. Absolutely fantastic driver.
It's hard to tell with the glitching on the screen, but I can tell that it's very smooth. It's very clean. You can just tell by the lines he's taking. So this is the interesting corner here, ladies and gentlemen. So he comes through here like every other driver has today from what I've watched. But what every other driver has been doing is going mid-line and then cutting this apex. He's going right wide and then coming through with a really good power down. That's about a 155 because of the mishap there.
155.347.
So he is on his final official lap here, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see what he's got. He's broken the 150 mark once already here in this session. So and he is purple right now, which means currently beating Jake's lap on track.
You have him as purple?
Yeah.
I had him as plus 0.023.
Oh, he's timer. The timers are all screwed up on my screen, so I guess we can't really go by what we have going on here. Got great exit there, using all the racetrack there, ladies and gentlemen. He's on those apexes, every corner he's on the apex of that curve.
Just showed he was up. He was purple, 0.2 of a second purple in that last sector.
And he's definitely
showed me
cooking
his
because he had a little bit of wiggle coming out of that corner there. So
up on his time is all it said for me.
Yeah, it was 2.2.
Oh, he's on a lap here,
No.
Chad. This could potentially be a 150 flat, judging by when he just came out of that final corner. Of course, on my screen.
I got a 150.696.
Beauty. Actually, that's what I got on the left-hand side of my screen, too. So the fastest lap that just popped up on my screen is the accurate time. The live timing on the right-hand side is inaccurate. So that was a quick lap.
So 150.696
696 is what I see.
Yep. Puts him in second place.
And that's on a motion controller, ladies and gentlemen. So that is extremely impressive. He's not pressing buttons. He's moving his controller to make these corners. It's a very different philosophy. Going to be very exciting to see what he can do in Division 1 this season with that motion controller.
Kick all our asses.
Be interesting to see.
Him and Proctor.
Right.
Him and Proctor and Vilsack. If Vilsack joins us, we'll be up there for sure.
I wouldn't count Jake out of that equation either.
Oh, yes, I forgot about Jakey, too, and Jakey will be up there, too. Jakey will be winning lots, too. That man's super fucking fast. Super fast.
We have seen Jake make some incredible progress over the last few weeks.
Yep. He's going to be scary when he gets a set of pedals. And
when he gets a proper
good.
functioning set of pedals, yeah, it's going to be really scary.
Yeah.
Really scary. But you know, he's a young guy. He's still got his reflexes, his reaction time is at its peak right now. And you know, this is a great time for him to really be pushing his competitiveness. So this guy really is potentially the limit for him.
Yep.
All right, so I believe that was the last one for the night, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
it.
So thank you everybody who popped in to check out what we're doing here. Thanks for hanging out for the test on GT7 as far as spectator mode goes. GT7 did the update last week, said that they fixed the spectator issue with it just being a black screen. You still get a black screen. Don't panic. Sit there for 5-10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. It will bring you into the picture of the race, and you'll be able to do your basic controller functions as far as spectator mode goes. And that's great news for leagues and league racing moving into GT7, as we are able to at least get this out there to you guys so you don't get to miss any of the action. And really glad to see it. Really happy with how this couple-hour test ran here tonight as far as commentating goes. The audio is working fantastic in the game. And of course the picture looked really good. It's just, you know, a few things for GT7 to work out as we progress into the future of the game. And once they get all that sorted out, man, we are in for some absolutely amazing races. And we are absolutely in for some epic commentary throughout sim racing on GT7. So great news. It's really fantastic. I would like to thank OFR for allowing me to be able to broadcast this tonight and do this test. So huge thank you to the OFR. And of course, thanks to Badass for putting on the qualifiers today for everybody, taking the whole day to allow these drivers to freely come and go as they're ready to put these times in. And it was just a really good turnout. They have a couple of drivers left, so stay tuned. Once they have everything finalized, we'll get Badass to send the information over to myself, and we'll post it up on our pages as well, so everybody knows what's going on, and everybody's ready to catch round one of the OFR North America Division preseason. So it's going to be really great stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And the drivers, the list looks fantastic. There's going to be some really great races this season, for sure. So congratulations to OFR for having a great turnout. And I'm super excited to see what's going to come out of GT7 NA Division for Season 3. It's going to be absolute fire, ladies and gentlemen, absolute fire.
And we're looking for more drivers, so if anyone wants to join, get in contact and Ghost, then he can contact me.
Absolutely. We have all the sources and the information to get you guys in the right places, to meet the right people, to get yourselves qualified and get into this. So, of course, leave a comment in the OFR, Apex, or GT45 Gaming YouTube if you've seen this broadcast either live or pre-recorded. If you're interested, drop a comment, and we'll definitely see that comment, and we'll get you hooked up. Or if you're in one of the Discord servers or anything like that with any of us, of course, just hit us up there as well. We can get you an invite link, get you into that OFR Discord server, and get you set up right away. And much love if you're able to race. And anything else, date, time, stuff like that about us?
Not yet.
Not yet. So we don't have that quite set in stone yet, so stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, if you're not a subscriber to the OFR, Apex Racing, or GT45 Gaming YouTube, make sure you guys hit that subscription before you leave the broadcast here right now, or whether you're watching it recorded later at your own leisure. Just so you don't miss any of the live action, of course, miss any of the announcements of when everything is taking place. And don't forget to like and share that out for everybody. Let everybody know what OFR is doing over here in GT7. Let everybody know that we got some fantastic racing coming up here in the very near future. And we love you for it. You guys are all amazing. And thank you for tuning in, and stay winning. That's what we say here at GT45 Gaming is the motto here. And just keep grinding, everybody. We'll see you all on track. And much love, much love.